On September 1st, 1939, World War II was declared with the Axis power of Germany, Italy, and the Soviet Union, declaring war against Britain and France. By the end of the catastrophic war, Germany was losing its power as the United States, along with the USSR, Britain, and France, were overwhelming Germany's attempts at attacking the Allied powers. The Battle of Stalingrad, fought from July 17, 1942 to February 2nd, 1943, was a major turning point in World War II, as it was one of the battles in history and marked the beginning of Germany's decline on the Eastern Front. The German army, hoping to take control of the city for its strategic and symbolic value, faced strong resistance from the Soviet forces. In November 1942, the Soviets launched a surprise counterattack called Operation Uranus, which successfully surrounded and trapped the German Sixth Army. Despite orders from Hitler to hold their ground, the German troops were eventually forced to surrender due to starvation, freezing temperatures, and constant Soviet attacks. The Soviet victory at Stalingrad boosted Allied morale, shifted the momentum of the war in favor of the Allies, making it a key moment in the defeat of the Nazi Germany. The Battle of Normandy, fought from June 6, 1944 to August 30th, 1944, was a major part of World War II. June 6, 1944 was titled D-Day, as Normandy, France was invaded by the US, Canada, Britain, and most of the Allied powers. During this invasion, Nazi Germany had taken control of France, resulting in mobilization of 156,000 Allied troops on the beaches of Normandy, nicknamed Operation Overlord. By the spring of 1945, the Germans were defeated by the Allied troops, and in August of 1944, northern Italy was liberated, making the biggest naval, air, and land operation in history. The result of D-Day led liberation of France by the Allied powers and the turning point in which the Nazis were weakened and restricted in tactical strategies. The Battle of the Bulge, which took place in December 1944 and January 1945, was Germany's last major offensive on the Western Front during World War II. Although the Germans initially made significant gains and caused heavy damage, the tide turned when General George S. Patton's Third Army broke through to relieve the surrounding town of Bastogne on December 26th. By early January, the Allies launched a counterattack and slowly pushed the Germans back. While the battle delayed the Allied advance and caused about 75,000 casualties in the Allied powers, Germany lost around 120,000 soldiers and crucial supplies it couldn't replace. In the end, the offensive weakened the German army so badly that it could not hold off the Allies any longer, making it a major turning point and sped up the end of the war. The Battle of Berlin, fought from April 20th to May 2nd of 1945, was one of the last major battles of World War II and marked the final collapse of Nazi Germany. The Soviet Union launched a massive assault on the German capital with over 1.5 million troops, determined to crush the remnants of Hitler's regime and take revenge for years of suffering. Inside Berlin, defenders included the regular soldiers, desperate civilians, and even teenagers from Hitler Youth. Despite their bravery, they stood little chance against the overwhelming Soviet firepower. Brutal street fighting, heavy bombing, and widespread destruction left the cities in ruin. Hitler, refusing to admit defeat, remained in his bunker, giving hopeless orders. With no real hope left, German forces surrendered soon after. The battle resulted in hundreds of thousands of eliminations, both military and civilian, and signaled the end of war in Europe. The final phase of World War II saw the United States drop atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima on August 6th and Nagasaki on August 9th, 1945, in a bid to force Japan's surrender and avoid a prolonged invasion. These bombings instantly ruined the plans of the Japanese Empire and caused devastating destruction. Shortly after, the Soviet Union declared war on Japan, further pressuring the Japanese government. Faced with overwhelming devastation and threat of Soviet invasion, Japanese announced its surrender on August 14, 1945. The formal surrender ceremony took place on September 2nd, officially ending the war. The use of atomic weapons remains controversial, but marked a decisive and tragic turning point in modern warfare. Thank you for watching this documentary on World War II.